Well, first of all, you can set them in your preferences. If you go to the General tab under the default design type about halfway down, you can set it. This setting right here is the way my machine is, and I think that's the way it's been came through from the update. And basically, if I go into a new design, by default, it's part. Now, a little bit of an aside here. Whenever a major update comes out, I am making a note to myself to go through and take a look at the changes to the preferences dialog box because I was looking for some things that weren't where they used to be and saw some new things. And I really wanted to take advantage of those things about a month ago. So I am making that as a note to myself whenever a major update comes out, and maybe even those minor updates, those 6-weekers. Uh, Take a look into the preferences and see what is new. When you do start a new design, you click on that plus sign up in the corner or the file drop down. You get this dialog box that pops up. Do you want to start a part, which is, again, that default setting for me? Do I want to pick an assembly-only design, a hybrid design? Am I starting a drawing, going into the circuit board layout, or the library for the circuit board layout? Now, you're picking these. It doesn't care at this moment what you have as a default preference. If you would like to go and just use Control N, then it will go with whatever that default setting is. So it just bypasses this dialog box. If you're already in a design file, but you haven't done anything yet, you can also go to the document settings and click on the pencil, and that'll give you a chance to convert to design. Now, here's an example of going through a new design. I'll pop back over to Fusion, and I will start a brand new file. Now, if I click here on New Design, like I said, it comes up with this dialog box. If I had instead held down Control, hit N for New File, it would have just gone right to New Part. But I want a new assembly here. I'll go ahead and create it. Like what I've got as far as my choices for my units, I'll go ahead and create new. I'm not going to save this because it's going to end up with the same name as before. But over here in my data panel, I can see that I've got some assemblies and I've got some parts. And what I'll do is I can either right click and insert to the current design or just drag it in. And here it's giving me a message. Okay, the one I'm bringing in, it's going to bring in the one with the milestone flag on it. Is that what you want? Because if you want the latest and greatest, then go and use get latest version. So I hadn't added a milestone to my most recent save. Here's the position, affect initial position. I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be grounded to the parent. Okay, that sounds good. And now I could go ahead and say get latest. And there we go. So at this point, it's an externally referenced file. It's got the link showing. That wasn't there until I did a get latest. So don't panic when you see that. Also down on the timeline, there is the external link being shown again with the links. Now, just to be quick about this, I'll drag in the caster. Same general warning. And again, I can go ahead and get latest. Oh, sorry, I need to position it first. I'm going to make my life a little bit easier and just pull it out here a little bit where I can see what's going on. Say okay there. I'm not grounding it to the parent. That would be exactly wrong. Go ahead and get latest. And lo and behold, I get the link showing up. Now, quickly just add a joint in here. Let's see, I'll set the joint for Revolut. Go back and grab, that top ring there. There's a little fillet on there, and I don't want to grab the fillet. I may have anyway. That would be Murphy's Law as applied to presentations, but we'll go ahead. All right, so that's grabbing it there. Everything snaps into place. Now, instead of doing a pattern, relatively new, duplicate with joints. And the reason I'm showing this one is there's a gotcha if you're dealing with a component that's actually a subassembly. If you got something that's a subassembly, grab it here from the browser, not by picking on the screen. If I pick on the screen, all I get is that housing for the caster. What I really need is the entire caster. And it's kind enough to tell me this. I would love to say, don't ever show me this again, but since I teach, nope, I need to make people aware of this. So I'll go ahead and take continue. And now it's looking for landing places for additional revolute joints. And just go through and plop those down. And say OK. And now I've got this design with the 4 pieces on it. And you may at this point be asking yourself, why does Wayne care? Well, if that was the original pattern, these would all be exactly the same. But since these are individually placed with individual joints, there is some, I guess I'll call it flexibility that comes into play. And that's something I wouldn't have had before. So this avoids some of those things that I'm not real thrilled with as far as patterns go. So everything's linked in, and if I look up here, there's the assembly design.